jumping right on in, you know how much I enjoyed your movie. Did you make any changes since it played at Sundance?
You changed the title, but we didn't make any changes. Obviously, we had to change the title on the screen, but other than that, no, we didn't. We really had a great time there, and I loved my absolute highlight of Sundance was going into Salt Lake and sort of seeing it with a really regular audience. That was great because it's a sort of, I mean, a film festival is a sort of artificial place, and you got really sort of keen film buffs and you've got press and all the rest of it. But going into a regular place was wonderful, and it was very moving actually to watch it there. So, and I learned a lot from it. So, yeah, no, but we didn't make any changes.
Yeah, what was your feelings when they said we're going to go from Ironbark to the Courier? I mean, personally, I actually understand the title change, like it makes more marketing sense. But I'm just curious, what was your take on it?
You know what? When I got wind of the fact they wanted to change the title, I was sort of all ready for a fight. I was like, don't you mess with it. And it was more sort of fear of what it was going to be, because I knew that there were problems with the title, because every time I spoke to anyone who I knew, they said, what's the name of your film again? It just wasn't sort of sticking. And I also knew that it wasn't really about the main character, because that is the code name of Penkovsky, who's a really crucial character. He's not the main character. And actually, as soon as they did a lot of market research, distributors did a lot of market research, and they came up with this time, I was like, yeah, I get it, because it sort of describes Benedict's character. And I think it's quite interesting. Although it's a very sort of generic title, it's quite interesting because it's about someone sort of who's just carrying stuff. He's just this guy carrying stuff. And of course, in the end, he makes this massive sort of intervention in history. So I went with it. And then we did screen the film with the new title at that. There was a sort of moment, a COVID-free moment where you could sort of travel. And we went to Zurich Film Festival, and we watched it there with the new title, and it helps the film because people sort of got the story earlier. And I don't think that was just because they're Swiss. I think it was the title.
Listen, you've obviously done a lot of work in the theater, and you've made a few movies. I'm a fan of your movies. So what do I need to do to get you to make more movies?
I listen, I love it. You kidding? You know what's extraordinary is that I was terrified of the very first thing I did, which was actually a TV. It was a Shakespeare. And the minute we started shooting, I was like, oh, I feel much more at home here than in the theatre. I've been working in the theatre for 30 years. I can't explain why. It's not like I know how to do it. I'm still learning all the time, but there's something about that sort of pressure of shooting and sort of real focus on the moment and being opportunistic, just taking what's there. You've done huge amounts of prep, but you turn up and everyone's there, and you sort of got to be in the moment and make the most of what is there. And I sort of love that. So you don't need to persuade me. I love making movies, and I want to make more. Love to.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, you were attached, or maybe you're still attached to, I believe it's called Folios, or how do you?
Follies. Yeah.
Follies.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to fuck that up.
Don't worry.
So what? I can't believe I did. What did you? What's the status of that? Is that actually going to happen?
Well, fun enough, I've been working, and one of the advantages of this crazy lockdown, I'm locked in my house months, is I've been working on the script, and it's really coming together. I mean, I'm quite pleased with the script. There's a lot of hoops to jump through. It's a huge project. It's got a massive cost, but I'm pleased with where it is creatively at the moment. So, who knows? I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm really hoping it will come together. And there's a couple of other things that I'm sort of working on the development of this may sound like a contradiction in terms, but an intelligent romantic comedy set in London, which is a beautiful script written by a fantastic writer called Nick Payne. He's basically a playwright, but he's written this brilliant sort of, it's a bit like sort of Annie Hall or something like that. It's a script about really smart people who can't relate to one another, and it's great. It's fabulous. So I'm trying to get stuff off the ground. We'll see where it all goes.
I gotta go, but is there any chance you're going to take the people you worked with on the stage and have them in the movie?
There will be. Listen, I'm definitely trying to involve like the choreographer, the costume designer, and I'm sure there will be some people who are on stage. But there's also an opportunity to branch out into sort of American star actors and so on. So, it'll be a bit of a mix.
Well, listen, congrats. You know how much I enjoyed your film, and congrats on everything. I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much, Steve. Really nice to see you again.